This is One on One.
Old age is one big game of surprise. I will douse myself. I will set myself on fire.
I will bring the marshmallows.
I am keeping a better house than most college students, and no one is threatening to lock them away.
Except you do have jars of flammable liquid at every entrance and exit. There are some really primal instincts in children, and one of them is if you think your mother is lying on the ground in agony, unable to call for help, you kind of want to do something about it.
I understand that. Fight the instinct.
That was the great Estelle Parsons, and the gentleman in that scene with her from The Velocity of Autumn is Stephen Spinella, and he's here with us, and I want to thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
The Velocity of Autumn, playing at the Booth Theater at 225 West 45th Street. Set up the play, and then talk about Estelle Parsons.
She is, she's 79, she's...
But 87 in real life?
She's 87 in real life, yeah. She is a woman who is starting to experience dementia, and her two of her kids are trying to get her to move into a nursing home, kind of pressuring her, and so she fills the house with Molotov cocktails, and she's going to blow the place up, and they call her son, who's been estranged for 25 years.
That's you.
That's me, to come back and talk her out of it. And I climbed the tree in the front of the house, in the front of the brownstone in Park Slope. I climbed the tree in front and climb in through the front window, and that's the beginning of the play.
So you're in Brooklyn?
Yeah, we're in Brooklyn, yeah.
You're in Brooklyn. You haven't seen her in 25 years. And what was your relationship like back in... before the 25 years started?
You know, that's part of the story of the play,
yeah.
is that the unfolding of that. And they were two people who were sort of, in some ways, very much alike. They were both, you know, he was her kid. He was the one that she felt like she could have the most influence on. And then he sort of feels the pressure of that over a number of years and just gets out to become his own kind of person, and he leaves for a very, very long time. He stops communicating with them. He cuts himself off completely from the family.
Sounds like a lot of families.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of families who struggle with a whole range of issues having to do with how to come to terms with an older parent, whether they've been connected for those 25 years or not. But what do you do? Right.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of what the play is about.
That's what I mean.
You know, is you know, we're in this situation now where, you know, we used to take care of our parents in a different way, and now we move them into nursing homes, or we deal with the very difficult problem of having them in our own home, and then with problems like dementia, that makes that almost undoable. And the play touches on that. It's not a polemic about that. It's one of the issues. It sort of mines the issue that's happening in the culture right now, to tell the story of these two particular people.
But it's a comedy.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So how? It's
well, you know, I mean,
It is.
She's, you know, I mean, Estelle rightly describes herself as a tragic comedian, and you think of the stuff that she's done, like Bonnie and Clyde. It's like these incredibly funny characters in these incredibly tragic situations, and this is sort of a continuation of that. And she's hilariously funny and incredibly moving. I mean,
what's it like to work with her?
She suffers no fools. She doesn't like to shilly-shally around anything. She tells you what she thinks, and you work from there. And so it's like, you know, it's a constant challenge. It's my way of working has always been, you know, based on what the text is telling me to do, and she's much more intuitive. She's, you know, she'll say, I don't think that this is this. And I'll say, well, but it says that right there. I don't think this is this. And then you try it and you see that the play can handle that kind of twist to the side. And it makes it more interesting. She's done that a number of times.
Is it true that she wanted you to play this role?
yeah, she.
How did she know who you were and that you were the one?
You know that.
No,
it was
really. How did she say that guy want that guy?
I don't know. I mean, I never asked. I never had that conversation.
know?
I never had that conversation with her, and I don't know what her actual thinking was. I mean, I imagine that the guy who was in Angels in America, the character is gay. I think that she thought of along those lines. You know, where the physical description matches, and we'd never met. We'd never worked together, obviously, and so she, you know, she asked for me, and I read the play and really liked it, and was incredibly flattered she asked for me.
To what degree do you draw on any of your own personal life? We talk to actors, terrific performers, actors all the time here, who will often say that a part of their lives they can't help but bring into the role.
Well, it all comes from you. I mean,
does it?
There's nobody else.
Because you said you work off the text.
There's nobody else that it comes from, and you take what's in the text, and you make that you make that your own, and the character adjustments, you make those your own too. I mean, it's like it's my version of this character. It's me. That's who I am. That's what I'm saying as an artist, is the presentation of this character that I give, and it comes from me. There's nowhere else for it to come from. And so a certain amount of my own personal life comes in, but it's not, I don't do like emotional recalls on stage. I try to live in the moment of what is happening there from me. And so, you know, I think about when I have to, she's my mom, and I have to talk to my mom on stage. And what does that mean to me, to talk to my mom? What is that? What is the organic event for me to be talking to my mom? And it's not Steve's mom,
right.
It's Chris's mom, but it's still my mom, and it's what mom means to me that I'm doing, that I live through every night with Estelle, who becomes Chris's mom, my mom, because I'm playing Chris.
What a fascinating process. Before I let you out, I have to ask you this. Even though it's so personal to each actor, do you ask yourself the question, what do I want each audience member who comes to see this play walk away with? Do you ask yourself that?
I don't. I don't.
It's up to them?
It's up to them, yeah. I don't want to manipulate anything. I want to live in the world and have the experience of living in the world with the other actor that I'm working with. And that's what Estelle is so great about, is she's, every night it's different, and every night she brings something completely fresh and spontaneous to it. And that's what I play with and try to give to her as much as she gives to me.
You mind if I plug again?
No, go ahead. Okay.
It is, Stephen Spinella is playing opposite of Estelle Parsons, and they are in The Velocity of Autumn, playing at the Booth Theater at 225 West 45th Street, and we encourage folks to get out and check it out and walk away with whatever message they choose to. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Stay right there. We'll be back from the WNET Tisch Studio right after this in Lincoln Center. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Barnabas Health, St. Peter's University, United Water, Qualcare Inc., New Jersey's credit unions, Johnson & Johnson, and by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.